The land of darkness. The book of Job, chapter 38, verse 17. Have the gates of hell, death, been open unto thee? Or hast thou seen the doors of the shadow of death? Psalms 23 and 14. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I'll fear no evil, for thou art with me. Thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me. Thou preparest a table before me in the presence of my enemies. Thou anoints my head with oil, my cup runs over. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, and I'll dwell in the house of the Lord. Where is the shadow of death? So in Job 38 and 17 is asking you, has the gates of death been opened unto you? So we know this is a place, and the doors of the shadow of death. So it's a place. Now Job chapter 28 verse 3, he sets an end to darkness and searches out all perfection, the stones of darkness and the shadow of death. Now we're still in the book of Job. Now we're in chapter 10 verse 21. Before I go whence, I shall not return, even to the land of darkness and the shadow of death. So we've established that this is a place, the land of darkness and the shadow of death. Okay, it's talking about hell, the land of darkness and the shadow of death. Now Job 10:22 goes on to say, a land of darkness as darkness itself and the shadow of death, without any order, and where the light is as darkness. Right? The wicked know no peace. That's why it's without order. Now, Deuteronomy 32 and 22. For a fire is kindled in my anger, and shall burn on to the lowest hell, and should consume the earth with her increase, and set on fire the foundations of the mountain. Now, here we have David begging God to save him from the lowest hell. Psalms 116 and 3. The sorrows of death compassed me, and the pains of hell got hold upon me. I found trouble and sorrow. Now, Psalms 139 and 8. If I ascend up into heaven, thou art there, and if I make my bed in hell, behold, thou art there. Now Psalms 86 and 13. For great is thy mercy toward me, thou hast delivered me from the lowest hell. So that's David. First, he's saying that hell got hold on him. Now he's telling you, he's praying for forgiveness. Now he's telling you, thou hast delivered my soul from the lowest hell. And here you have God telling you that when you kindle his anger, he will set it, and it shall burn until the lowest hell. And then you have in Psalms 86 and 13, David telling you him being delivered from the lowest hell. Now, the book of Isaiah, chapter 9, verse 2, the people that walk in darkness have seen a great light. They that dwell is to live. So they that dwell in the land of the shadow of death, upon them has light shine. So they that dwell in the shadow of death, upon them light has shined. That's in Isaiah chapter 9 and 2. Now, Psalms 74 and 20. Have respect unto the covenant, for the dark places of the earth, where are the dark places of the earth? The shadow of death, the land of darkness, are full of the habitations of cruelty. So what is their domain like? What is their civilization like? It's full of habitations of cruelty. Now, Psalms 18 and 4. The sorrows of death, remember the shadow of death. Now he's saying the sorrows of death compassed me, and the floods of ungodly men made me afraid. So here he's talking about hell and the marine kingdom. The floods of ungodly men made me afraid. Now, the sorrows of death compassed me, about the snares of death prevented me, the shadow of death. In my distress I called upon the Lord and cried unto my God. He heard my voice out of his temple, and my cry came before him, even into his ear. Now Psalms 58 and 6 to 7. Break their teeth, O God, in their mouth. Break out the great teeth of the young lions, O Lord. Now, the great teeth of the young lions. Young lions are terrestrial spirits, okay? Let them melt away as waters which run continually. When he bends his bow to shoot his arrows, let them be as cut in pieces. So that's God that's David telling God to send out his arrows and shoot at the great lions, the young lions with the great teeth, okay? Now, we're in the book of Psalms, chapter 64, verse 7. But God shall shoot at them with an arrow. Now, these are good precepts to know when you're doing spiritual warfare. But God shall shoot at them with an arrow, and suddenly shall they be wounded. Psalms 11 and 2. For lo, the wicked bend their bow. They make ready their arrows upon the strings, that they may privily shoot at the upright in heart. That is the devil being a copycat, because just like God has arrows, he shoots arrows too. Now, Deuteronomy 32 and 23. Now, this is God. I will heap mischiefs upon them. I will spend my arrows upon them. So now this is applying. These are good precepts. Psalms 18 and 14. Yeah, I sent out my arrows and scattered them, and he shot out his lightnings and discomfited them. Now I'm going to get into some more. Psalms 59 and 13. Consume them in wrath, consume them that they may not be. Then let them know that God rules in Jacob unto the ends of the earth. Selah. Now Psalms 37 and 20. But the wicked shall perish, and the enemies of the Lord shall be as the fat of lambs. They shall consume it to smoke, and they shall consume away. Now Psalm 65 and 6. Behold, it is written, Isaiah 65 and 6. Sorry, pardon me. Behold, it is written before me, I will not keep silent, but I will recompense, even recompense into their bosom. Now Proverbs 20 and 22. Say not thou, I will recompense evil, but wait on the Lord, and he shall save thee. Now here is a great precept to fight the kingdom of darkness. Psalms 140 and 10. Let burning coals fall upon them, let them be cast into the fire, into deep pits, that they rise not up again. Now, when you're going into spiritual warfare, you must apply Deuteronomy 9 and 3 first. Understand therefore this day that the Lord thy God is he which goes before thee as a consuming fire. She shall destroy them, and he shall bring them down before thy face. So shalt thou drive them out and destroy them quickly, as the Lord has said unto thee. Then Psalms 60 and 12. Through God we shall do valiantly, for it is he that shall tread down our enemies. And it's also in Psalms 108 and 13. Now, Isaiah 41 and 10. Fear thou not, for I am with thee. Be not dismayed, for I am thy God, and I will strengthen thee. I will help thee. I will uphold thee with the right hand of my righteousness. Deuteronomy 31 and 8. And the Lord, it is that does go before thee.